Okay, let's be honest. We are all absolutely drowning in information, right? Every single day, we're hit with countless articles, podcasts, videos. But how much of that amazing knowledge do we actually hold on to and use? Well, today, we're going to dive into a system designed to fix that. We're talking about how to build a second brain and finally conquer that digital overwhelm.
You know that feeling, right? You have this brilliant idea in the shower, or this key insight pops into your head during a conversation, and then, by the time you actually have a chance to write it down, poof, it's gone. It is so frustrating. But here's the thing, it's not your fault. Our brains are incredible, but they're for having ideas, not for being a dusty old filing cabinet for every single detail.
So to really see what a difference this makes, let's look at two totally different ways your week could start. Think of it as a tale of two brains, and it really highlights the massive gap between just reacting to your day and proactively creating the day you want.
So on one side, you've got Nina's Monday. And I bet this feels a little familiar to a lot of us. Her inbox just completely dictates her morning. She's putting out fires all day, and by the time she gets to the evening, she's way too drained for the important creative work she actually wants to do. But now imagine the Monday on the right. That idea you had in the shower, you captured it instantly. You walk into meetings totally prepared, with ideas ready to go. You spend your day actually creating value by connecting all these scattered thoughts into organized, actionable insights. Big difference, right? So here's our game plan for making that proactive Monday your new reality. We've seen the problem, that overwhelmed brain. Now we're going to explore the promise of a second brain. And then we'll break down the beautifully simple 4-step code method at its heart. And finally, we'll see how you can turn all that information you already have into real-world creation.
So what is the big promise here? Well, it's about making a fundamental shift. It's about going from being an anxious information hoarder, someone who just stockpiles articles and links they'll never look at again, to becoming an active creator who actually uses knowledge to build, to innovate, and to share cool stuff with the world.
Okay, so what exactly is a second brain? It's basically a personal digital archive for your most valuable ideas and knowledge. Think of it as a trusted system outside of your head. And it's not just for storage, it's a tool for thinking. It helps you connect ideas and see patterns that you would totally miss otherwise.
This quote from productivity genius David Allen just nails it. Your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. The whole point is to free up your mental RAM, Let your brain do what it does best, dreaming, imagining, creating, while your second brain does the boring work of remembering every little thing.
So, how do we actually build this thing? Is it super complicated? No way! The whole system is built on a simple, really memorable 4-step method. This isn't about fancy software or a bunch of rigid rules. It's a flexible framework called code, and it acts as your own personal creative blueprint.
Code stands for capture, organize, distill, and express. Simple, right? First, you capture ideas that really resonate with you. Then, you organize them so they're ready for action, not just filed away forever. After that, you distill them, finding the absolute core essence. And finally, the best part, you use that knowledge to express yourself and create something new.
All right, let's break that down, starting with the very first step, capture. Look, in a world of endless information, we just can't save everything. If we try, we'll just drown. The key here is to stop being a mindless collector and start being a thoughtful curator of your own knowledge.
So instead of overthinking it, you just gotta trust your gut. Capture what resonates. Does a quote make you feel inspired? Does a statistic seem super useful for a project on the line? Does a random fact just completely surprise you? If you feel that little spark, save it. And use whatever is fastest. A notes app like Evernote or Notion, a quick voice memo to yourself, it doesn't matter. The goal is to make it frictionless, to just grab that thought before it vanishes. Okay, so once you start capturing all these amazing gems of knowledge, you need a place to put them. And this is where most systems just completely fall apart. They create these digital graveyards of forgotten notes. The secret is to organize everything for action.
This is a game changer right here. Don't organize your notes like a library with these static academic categories like psychology or marketing. That's how you end up with dusty, forgotten folders. Instead, organize them like a workshop around your active projects, Project X launch, vacation plan, new website. This tiny shift ties every single piece of information you save directly to a real-world outcome, which makes it instantly incredibly more useful.
So, capturing and organizing, that's the foundation, but it's not the ultimate goal. The entire point of doing all this is creation, and that's where the last two steps of the code method, distill and express, come into play. It's all about turning that passive knowledge into active, real-world output.
Look, this system isn't about creating some perfect, pristine archive. It's about taking the notes you've collected and asking yourself, okay, what's the real idea here? That's distilling. It's like you're your own editor, right? You bold the best sentences, highlight the key phrases, and then summarize the main point in your own words. Then you take those distilled, potent ideas, those powerful building blocks, and you combine them to write an article, plan a project, or solve a problem. That's expressing. And that is how you finally move from being a consumer to a creator.
And really, that's the final takeaway, isn't it? You can read 100 books, but that information only becomes true wisdom when you actually put it to use, when you test it, apply it, and create something totally new with it.
Ultimately, we are surrounded by knowledge, but we're often starving for wisdom. The problem isn't a lack of information, it's the lack of a system to make sense of what we already have. When you build a second brain, you give your ideas a home, a place to connect, to grow, and to become something more. So the only question left is, what will you create with it?